to feedback session number 4. We're nearly there. Let me just check that everything's working okay, and then we can begin. So I was really impressed with the work that I saw today. A lot of your tasks were great. I think it was the best work so far that I've seen, so it was really good, especially the structure and what you were doing with your conclusions. It was really good. So I think you keep building up your confidence and your ability, so it was excellent to see. I'm just looking down at my phone, just checking that everything's working okay. Apologies that Facebook is not working very well today for some reason. It's not just in my group. A lot of people are complaining that videos are not working and comments are not showing up and things like that. Just sometimes Facebook doesn't work very well. So a number of you complained that you couldn't see the video and things like that. What I did was I uploaded it to a different service, and I posted the link in the group. So if you had any problems with the video today, just have a look in the group and you'll find that link. And things like that. What I did was Alright, cool. So everything seems to be working fine. Yeah, so as I said, in general, the quality of the work was really good. I was seeing a big improvement. All of you used the structure well. All of you stated your main ideas pretty much the way that I showed you, which was really good. And the main issue was vocabulary and grammar. So what I'm going to do is I've taken, I think, about 10 samples, so about 10 student samples from underneath the video, and what I'm going to do is just go through 10 of them and talk about why some of them are really good and why some of them might need a little bit of improvement, and we'll focus mostly on vocabulary and grammar, because those are the two things that, like, 99% of you did a really good conclusion, but a lot of you really need help with your vocabulary and grammar, so that's what we're going to work on. I think that's everything, so let's get going, and then I'll take any questions that you have or anything like that. Okay, so let me just check that you can see this, and then we can get going. Yeah, everything's working okay. Cool. Alright, so this person, and again, if you see your writing here and I say something negative about it, you should be happy, because I'm pointing out something that the examiner is going to see and the examiner is going to mark you down for. So failing, practice is basically like controlled failure. I don't know who said that. I can't remember who said that, but it was I really agreed with it and it really resonated with me. When you're practicing, see it as controlled failure. You should be looking for failure. Same as like when you go to the gym and you lift weights, you're not going to get stronger until you reach the point of failure and your muscle is telling you that it's about to fail. Same with improving your writing. You need to be constantly failing, not failing the exam. I'm talking about like writing, for example, writing a conclusion and there being little mistakes in it. That is failing, little moments of failure, getting feedback on that, then learning from that, and that's how you improve and that's how you get better at anything. So, excuse me. So, let me take a drink. Like, something flew into my throat. So if you see something and it's your writing, don't be afraid. Don't be happy that you're making mistakes, because that's the only way to improve. Okay, so this person said, in conclusion, although costless circulation of research leads to boost up the terrorism activities, this essay believes that it can lead towards blackmailing the nation, or else it will raise the risk of national security. Alright, so this is a example of someone who has a problem with collocations. So there's a lot of collocation errors. So cost less circulation of research, boost up the terrorism activities, blackmailing the nation. What this person has done, I'm pretty sure this is what they've done, is they have got certain words, so cost less, circulation, research, and what they've done is they've taken those units of language. So think about words, or two words together as a little unit of language, and what they've done is they've taken those units of language and they've just pushed them all together. So the way language works is you can't just get random words and just push them together and hope that they mean something. Words have to collocate together, words that normally go together. So for example, you would say a delicious meal, or you would say a handsome man. So handsome and man go together. Delicious and meal go together. But you wouldn't say I had a handsome meal last night. If the meal looked good, you would say that it was beautiful or it was pretty. But you wouldn't say it handsome, because handsome is normally collocates with man. A handsome man. You wouldn't say a handsome woman either. You'd say a beautiful woman or a pretty woman, because these words collocate together. They normally go together. And you have to be aware of that. So you can't just stick pieces of language together and then hope that they work. When people do that, it's normally when they're paraphrasing. So what this person has done is they've got cost less, circulation, research, they've looked up synonyms and they've just stuck them together. Boost up terrorism activities, blackmailing the nation. Like, this person thinks that this is right. So obviously they think it's right, because they wouldn't have produced it if they didn't think it was right. But you have to be clear on why you write something. So why do we write something? Do we write something to show off our language? Do we write something to show the level of language that we're using? Or do we write something to communicate with people? The only reason why we write, the only reason why we speak, is to communicate with people. So if you're writing something that makes no sense to the reader, there's no point in producing it. So you have to be aware of what this test is about. This test is about testing your ability to communicate clearly in English. That's what your focus should be on, not trying to use language that you do not understand. So let's look at a few more. Okay, so the next one, this is much better. In conclusion, although free dissemination may be used for the purpose of promoting research, this essay finds it may be a means used to compromise a country's national security. So it makes it, there's some things that could be improved about it, but if you compare this one with this one, so if you look at this one, it's just it'd be very, very difficult for someone to understand what this means. If someone read this, it's very easy for them to understand what it means. It's done exactly what it's trying to do. It's clear what the ideas are. Most of the grammar is correct. Most of the vocabulary is correct. So it's much, much better. So let's have a look at this one. In conclusion, although sharing data freely might cause serious harms to national security, I believe that it can benefit scientific research. So some small grammar errors here, a little bit of verb-subject agreement here, but overall this is very, very good, because it's clear, it's easy to understand, and the vocabulary is good because the vocabulary is accurate. So let's copy and paste this one. Because I know some of you are thinking this. Let's bring this down here. If you're looking at this one and you think this one is better than this one because this person has bigger words or longer words or more complicated words, then you're thinking about vocabulary in the opposite way that you should be thinking about. The beauty of this one is that it's so simple and it's so clear that takes work. This person is way above this person in term, not above them generally in life, but in terms of the English language, because it takes a high level of awareness of the English language to produce simple, clear sentences. So I hope that you can see that. If you can't see that, let me know, because there's something seriously wrong if you think the bottom one is better than the top one. This one. So this one could improve a little bit. Let's move it down so we can see everything. Okay, so this person has said, in conclusion, although these publishing data and results from academic studies is too vital and costing a lot of money to be shared for no fees, this essay believes that it is necessary to publish these findings from scientific analysis to the community. So the first thing, there's just way too much going on here. They're trying to include way too much information when they don't need to. So they're making it more difficult for themselves. It would be like if there was a 100-meter running race, this person is reaching 100 meters and then running 200 meters. They're making it more difficult for themselves than it needs to be. The second thing is there's a lot of stuff in here that is just very imprecise. For example, too vital. Like, what does too vital mean? Data is too vital. It's very imprecise. It's very vague. Again, scientific analysis to the community. Collocation errors, possibly grammatical errors, and they're being overly ambitious with their language. So again, this is person's trying too hard. They're trying too hard to use, or maybe their teacher has told them that this is the way to go. Include lots of big words, and then you'll get a high score. But the result is something that is very, very difficult to understand, and full of mistakes. So the next one, this one, very good. In conclusion, although sharing of information widely can improve research, this essay believes that this will directly increase the possibility of terrorism. Okay, so if you took... Okay, so let's compare these two. If you took these two and gave them to 100 people, 100 native English speakers, or even 100 English teachers, or 100 IELTS examiners, which one do you think they're going to like best? Which one do you think it makes it clear to them what is in the mind of the person that was writing it? This one, you do not know what this person is thinking. It's very unclear. This one, it's extremely clear. They think that sharing of information can improve research, but there's also a possibility of terrorism. Alright? This is exactly where you should be going. And many of you might be thinking, oh, but the language that they're using isn't advanced enough. Think about what score you need. Most of you need just about a 7. This level of vocabulary is all that is required. You do not need to use crazy language in order to get a 7. But in order to get a 7, you need to write error-free sentences. Okay? So that should be your aim. Okay, any more? Okay, this one. In conclusion, although being shared freely is massively improving the research world, I believe people's safety globally is eventually at high risks because of the multiple terrorist attacks. So this person is, it's definitely a good attempt, but the main thing is spelling and grammar. So the spelling and grammar would be an issue, because why is spelling an issue? Spelling is an issue because it's to do with coherence, it's to do with clarity. If you are misspelling words, it is not clear to the person reading it what word it actually is, because it's misspelt. So you lose marks for vocabulary for misspelling things. And then there's a lot of grammatical errors in it also. And again, if you're making lots of grammatical errors, you're going to get a low score for grammar. So this person, if the rest of their essay was like this, so every sentence has grammatical errors, every sentence has got misspellings, they're likely to get, depending on how serious their errors are, either a band 5 or a band 6 for both vocabulary and grammar. If you're getting a band 5 and a band 6 for both of them, you're never ever going to be getting a 7. Doesn't matter how good the other two are, it's highly unlikely the other two are going to be like band 9 and then you're getting a band 5 for grammar and vocabulary. It doesn't really work like that. So, and then this is the last one, and again, this is a really good one because it's clear, it's easy to understand, and it's accurate. Or is this the same one? Did I just copy the same one? Sharing information can widely improve research. No, it's different. In conclusion, although freely sharing of information can be a huge help in the field of research, I believe that some information must be restricted as it can promote terrorist activities. Alright, so not perfect, some little small things that we could improve, but way better than this one. Alright, obviously better than this one. So hopefully that makes it clear to you what we are looking for and what we're not looking for. Alright, so we're looking for accuracy. We're looking for accuracy in terms of collocations, spelling, meaning, but also accuracy in terms of grammar as well. And we'll be working on grammar in tomorrow's video. So let me take a look at your questions on my phone, and then Christian, I'm from Venezuela, but I live in Edinburgh. I can tell you that it's the best dollar I've ever spent. Very nice. Thank you very much, Christian. Sir, is it possible? Is it possibly to take a rewarding score with enough vocabulary with high frequency words? So your question doesn't make any sense. So I'm not criticizing you, but in order for me, so this comes to the point that I was just making in the feedback session that I did 2 minutes ago. The reason why you write something is to send a message to someone else. So you're writing something that makes no sense to me, so that would indicate that you need to improve your vocabulary and your grammar for that message. So that's a perfect example of when you don't use correct vocabulary and grammar, what happens to coherence. Coherence, is it clear? No. I'm not criticizing you, by the way. It's just like I can't answer a question I don't understand. And you're an English learner, obviously, so that's totally normal. But I'm just trying to get it into your head what an examiner would think about that. Shushmajri, how can we identify whether it's an opinion essay or whether it's a discussion essay? A discussion essay will say discuss both views and give your opinion, and a opinion essay will say do you agree or disagree, or to what extent do you agree or disagree, or will ask you a direct question. So discussion questions say discussion, opinion questions ask for your opinion. Which type of essay mostly appears in the exam? There's not one type of question that mostly appears in the exam. Paraphrasing in opinion essays, do I paraphrase the entire question? Yep. Dovelet, thank you very much for M. Eunice Khan, so you've put your conclusion in. There's some vocabulary errors in it. Can you please check my essay? It's my birthday. Bariga. If I check your essay, then everybody will say it's their birthday as well. So no, it's not. Doesn't work like that. And a lot of you are posting your your conclusions. I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can, and I've given the feedback on the conclusions. I'm not going to be checking individual conclusions. Sorry. That's not the way it works. If you write in conclusion, I believe, does writing I believe at the beginning of the sentence reduce your marks? No, it doesn't. It's really important that you understand what reduces marks and what doesn't. And for 90% of you, the things that you think reduce your marks don't. And the things that you do not worry about do. So it's really about finding that out. You really need to find out what is important and what's not. Because the saddest thing is you're wasting a huge amount of your time worrying about things that do not matter, and you're not spending any of your time on the things that do. So that's, in any thing that you're doing in life, if you focus on things that don't matter and don't focus on the things that do, you're in trouble. So but that's not your fault, because there's just a huge amount of confusing information out there. How much vocabulary should I use to get a 7 tally? So that question doesn't make sense, because you're saying how much vocabulary do I use, but what do you mean by that? Like, words are vocabulary, so you're saying like how much words I should use to get a... What do you mean? I don't understand. Mr. Chris, is it possible to get an 8 for writing in just 1 month from a 6? Yes, it is possible. I've done it before. If you look at my testimonials, I've helped a lot of people go from that score to that score in just that short amount of time. But I can't guarantee that I'd be able to help anyone do that. Because I have no control over whether someone will work hard, whether someone will understand what I'm teaching them, whether someone will actually follow what I teach them, their work ethic, their commitment, their family life, their work life. Like, all of those things really, really matter. And that's one of the reasons why we do not guarantee results to anybody. I think we're the only online IELTS school that does not guarantee results, because I think it's nonsense to do that, because most of it is totally beyond the control of the school. It's all 99% of it is within the control of the person. Sir, I want to give 2 speaking and 3 writing corrections for both tasks before my exam. How much will it cost? If you just bought 2 speaking sessions and 3 writing corrections, it'd be like over $200. But it would be better to buy the full VIP course, because it's just a little bit more, and those things are included for free in it. Hi Chris, my handwriting is not good. Who told you that your handwriting is not good? The definition of not good for IELTS purposes is, can someone read it? If somebody can read it, it's good. If somebody can't read it, it's not good. There's a lot of countries, a lot of cultures where like nice handwriting is valued. Here we don't care. Like, as long as we can read it, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or not. Do you think it's better if we avoid pronouns in writing? Personal pronouns, you can avoid them. You should avoid them, but it's fine to use them. It's like, imagine I'm writing a Task 2 essay. I'm doing the IELTS test. And all the grammar is perfect, all the vocabulary is perfect, I've answered the question, everything's structured nicely, it's totally fine. And do you think that the examiner is going to be like, oh, he used the word I, band 5. Like, think about it. Think about how silly that is. Vishal, you said you you wake up every day at 11:30. Oh wait, good, thank you. Um, Yuki, it's 2:20 a.m. here in Hong Kong. You don't have to watch the live one. You can watch the replay if you want. A lot of people are asking, can you do a 5-day challenge for task 1 or reading or listening or speaking? Absolutely not. These take a huge amount of time and effort and energy to put together. I only do them every 6 months or so. So no, I will not be doing free courses or dollar courses or anything like that. No. I wish I could, but it's just like, it's like going to the Ford Motor Company and saying, can you create a new car for me tomorrow? Like, it's like, it's not going to happen. These things take time. Can I use words like so, that, like, as, inform? I don't understand which words you're talking about because you haven't put it clearly which ones you're talking about, but you should avoid informal language if you're writing a task 2 essay. Should be pretty obvious. Can conclusion be one sentence? Is it alright that the paragraph is one sentence only? Yeah, of course. Is there a rule that says paragraphs must be more than one sentence? I don't think so. Maxim, what if in the real exam I will read the question and unfortunately I can't understand it? What if I walk down the street and I get hit by a bus? Like, don't live your life in what ifs. Like, thinking about the worst thing that could ever happen and then worrying about that. That's highly unlikely to happen. It's highly unlikely that you're going to get some sort of freak question that you can't do anything with. In an opinion essay, do we need to discuss both sides? No, you don't. Shirley, you mentioned about giving ideas like a few of them. I don't know what that means. Is it true that conclusion carries 25% of the final mark? No, it doesn't. No, who told you? Tell me who these people are that tell you this nonsense. Like, 'cause I want to. It's like, I don't understand. I've heard more crazy things this week than I've ever heard about this test. What if you do not have specific examples? Can we write general information? I don't know what you mean by general information. I would have to look at the particular examples and give you feedback on them. But check out the bit where I was talking about examples. To be honest, you probably need more work on examples. You need more help with them. We had a short bit about it, but you could do with a full lesson on it really. So VIP course could be an option for you. If not, you can go and research it yourself and try and find it. Can you give us some examples of collocations? Yeah, everything in the English language mostly is collocations. Like the example I gave before. Like, if you're talking about a meal, you'd say like a delicious meal. So you wouldn't say, or if you're talking about a man, you would say a handsome man. But you wouldn't say a handsome meal. You wouldn't say a delicious man. Like, that wouldn't work. But you're basically just saying positive things about them. So there's lots of things like that. Google English collocation examples. You'll find as many as you want. Shall we extend our conclusion if we missed or fail? Yeah, there's a really simple way to extend your conclusion, which is to put like a recommendation or a prediction for the future or something like that. But it doesn't add anything to your mark or anything like that. It's just a little trick to get you over the 250 word mark. But the best thing to do is to learn a structure and use that a structure. So all the structures that I use with my students kind of guarantee that they'll always go over 250 words. You should always aim to be like over 250 but less than 300. What is the duration of your full VIP course? It's self-paced, so you can do it as quickly or as slowly as you like. I'd say the average time is about a month, but you could do it in a day if you want. I wouldn't recommend doing it in a day, but you know. But I'd say most people do it between 2 weeks and 6 weeks. But it's all flexible, so you do it whenever you want. How to differentiate between a discussion essay and a double question essay. A double question essay has 2 questions. Discussion question says discuss both views. Can I improve from 5.5 to 6.5 in 1 month? Yes, you can, but that's totally up to you. No teacher can guarantee that you will get that score because it's totally within your grasp. It's all about you. It's all about whether you are prepared to do enough work, whether you will listen to the teacher, whether your attitude towards criticism, your attitude towards improvement. It's all about your mindset, really. I can tell from speaking to someone within 2 minutes whether they're going to get the score that they need. And it's nothing to do with their English level. It's all to do with their attitude, their mindset. If somebody's prepared to work hard and they're prepared to have a growth mindset, i.e. taking on criticism and constantly improving things, then they're definitely going to get the score they need. If you get a lazy student or a student who cannot take criticism and does not want criticism, they will never ever get the score they need. Doesn't matter what you do with them. How much only for full reading and writing VIP course? The writing and reading. So we don't have writing and reading. We have writing, reading and listening. So what we do with the writing course is we throw in reading and listening for free. And the full writing course is $300 and the full VIP course, which is everything, is $500. Samuel, your class helped me. Do you have any extra advice to improve a writing score? No, because I have no idea what your writing looks like, and everybody is different. So in order for you to improve, I would have to see your writing and actually look at your writing. It's kind of like going into a doctor and saying, I feel sick, and the doctor saying, can I do tests on you? And you saying no. Like you have to show me your work, and I have to look at everything in order to establish how you can improve. People are asking when will the videos be deleted. They'll be deleted Monday. Monday I'm going to delete everything. An opinion essay, should we discuss both views? No. Sir, can you suggest any book, website, or person with general English? Do you provide any general English course? Yes, we provide a course called the IELTS grammar course, which covers everything to do with grammar. And what we do is we look at your writing and we give you feedback on everything and tell you your common grammar errors and why you made them and all those different things. That's only for VIP students, though. If I repeat words from the introduction or from the question, do you think they will delete them? It's okay to repeat like one or two words from the question, but if you just take the whole sentence and repeat it exactly how it is, they just delete it. They don't count that towards the word count or anything. So like, if there's one or two words, that's fine, because that's part of paraphrasing. You can't paraphrase everything. Like, Paris is Paris. There's no other way of saying it. Suppose you could say like the capital of France or something like that, but that would be a bit ridiculous. But yeah. I heard that in writing or speaking we should not use regular words like good or bad. Well, like if somebody tells you that, don't use regular words. How about articles? How about prepositions? How about try and write a sentence without articles and prepositions and see how you get on. And then when somebody tells you you cannot use regular words, then you have to ask yourself, what is a regular word? And then what is an irregular word? That's just terrible advice to give anybody. You should try and use the vocabulary that is required in order for you to answer the question. Try and use the best vocabulary you can, but sometimes you'll just use a word like good, or you'll use a word like bad, if that's appropriate to use. But these blanket statements of just telling people don't use regular words, that's the most confusing thing you could ever say to a student. Because then they're like, what is a regular word? What is an irregular word? There's some strange teachers out there, I tell you. Does it matter if we use redundant words while speaking or writing? What do you mean by a redundant word? You mean like a word that they used to use 200 years ago, but they don't use it anymore? What do you mean by that? Your teaching is really good, but I have a query. The examiners here in India would be looking for idioms or complex sentences, then how to deal with that. The examiners are not looking for idioms, because the examiners are using in India are using the exact same marking criteria as every other country in the world. So anybody who is telling you that you need to use idioms in IELTS Writing Test 2 is talking bullshit. They are conning you, or they're just complete idiots and they don't know what they're doing. I'm not saying Indian people are idiots, but this particular Indian person who has told you that is. And you're talking about complex sentences. We're going to do that tomorrow. Complex sentences, we're going to do that in lesson 5. But yeah, India is not a special place. And every single person who I speak to, whether it's in Vietnam or India or Saudi Arabia, they all say the same thing. But the examiners in my country are looking for this. It's like... Okay, here's another crazy one. My tutor told me that in an opinion essay, I need to discuss both views and give a 70-30 ratio on whether that is the craziest thing I've ever heard. How are you supposed to do that? Linguistically, how are you supposed to represent 70% that you agree with one side and 30% the other? Linguistically, how do you do that? That's beyond me. I'm not angry with you guys. It makes me really angry when I hear that students have been deceived. You're being deceived. You're being tricked by people who do not know what they're doing. It's and you guys are paying a lot of money. You're paying like $250 to do the test. Most students. So we survey all our students. Most students, before they join our VIP course, have failed the test between 3 and 4 times. So they spent between $750 and $1,000 just on test fees, plus wasted teacher fees, wasted school fees, wasted travel fees, wasted time away from their family. And then people say, oh, but your course is expensive. Okay, if you think my course is expensive, go and fail the test 4 times and then see if it's expensive. So, for a cause and solution essay, do we have to put causes in one body and solutions in another? You can do it that way, or you can put one cause and one solution, but I don't like to do it that way because I like to keep it one idea in one paragraph. Can usage word that be avoided in what? Sharika, you asked that question before, and I answered it before, so I don't, and I didn't understand it the first time. But I think what you're saying is, should you use the word that in a sentence or not? Like, don't use it if you don't want to use it. But it's a pretty strange thing to ask. How can we conclude for a causes and solution essay? In conclusion, the causes are this, the solutions are that. That's it. How much is the VIP course? $500. Chris, can we use wide sharing of information? No, it doesn't really collocate. It doesn't really work that way. If you have a course that you have already made it display to us, please, with a higher price than $1. Yes, I do. It's called the VIP course. Can we access video lessons in VIP class even after the course? Yes, everybody gets lifetime access to it. I think we're the only people who do that. That basically, when you join, you join until you pass. It's not like a lot of people limit courses for a month, or they limit it for 3 months or something like that. With us, you just pay one payment. That's it, and then that's until you pass. So that's because anything else is not fair on the student. Sometimes my essays are more than 300 words. Does it affect the mark? Probably does, because the more you go over 300, the less time you're spending checking your work. So at the end, you should be spending about 5 minutes just checking your work, checking vocabulary, checking ideas, checking structure, checking grammar especially. So if you're writing like 350, 400 words, you do not have time to check anything. And you're probably going off topic, and you're probably, just doing bad things. So, can I give any prediction for any type of essay conclusion? Yeah, but you don't need to, only if you're stuck. Can I write a background statement about the topic? No, avoid that. Do not do that. That's it's a very common thing that people suggest that you do, but it won't lose you marks, but it'll lose you time. You're doing something that a background statement adds nothing to your essay. You're risking making mistakes, grammar and vocabulary mistakes, and you're wasting time. So don't do anything that doesn't add to your essay. Every single thing that I teach my students, every single word, every single paragraph, every single sentence adds to them getting the score they need. A background statement does none of those things. Can you tell us how to conclude an advantages and disadvantages essay? In conclusion, the advantages are this and the disadvantages are this. That's it. Is it possible to ask for a spare sheet of paper in the exam? Should be, but check with your particular test center. Can you read my name, my teacher? No, because it's in crazy, not crazy, but unusual for me writing. Do we need to change every single word? Every single word of what? Can you please refer us to some good books for grammar? Your course is a bit expensive and I can't afford it. Murphy's grammar book's pretty good. Sir, your VIP course $500. Is there any option I can gain knowledge from you without spending that amount? It's not that expensive. So there's courses that are $200 an hour. Not my courses, but there are courses in London that are $3,000, over $3,000, and if you fail the test, that's $250 plus whatever course you joined, plus time away from your family, time away from your work, and most of all, you're delaying your future. So anybody that says $500 is expensive, the cost of not doing it, the cost of not joining a good course is way more than $500. So, but if you don't want to join it and you think it's too expensive, that's fine. Don't join it. Like, I will be fine. Do not worry. Enough people will join my course. They always do. Okay, I got about 10 more minutes left. Your sense of humor is great. You should be a comedian. No, it's not actually good, but we're just the opportunities are to be funny are abundant with the questions that we're getting. Oh my God, here's another one. Jesus Christ. Giving exam in a small city can help get a better score. I've heard from many that examiners correct papers more leniently in a small town. You win the prize for silliest question. Well done. Sir, what do you mean by money back guarantee in your VIP course? If you buy and you're not happy for any reason within 30 days, you just tell me that you're not happy for whatever reason, and we give you your money back and we remove you from the course. We do not want to work with people who are not happy with us. We do not want to work with people who we do not want to work with. So basically, we're the only course in the world that has for IELTS that has a massive waiting list. So we don't have to work with people we do not want to work with. So if you're not happy, tell us, bye bye, see you later, here's your money back, and we bring on another person. Is it probable to increase our mark by applying for a recheck? There's no data. There's only like anecdotal evidence, like my cousin did it, and my cousin or whatever, you know, my sister's friend's cat got a remark, like whatever. There's a chance, but I don't know what percentage of a chance or anything like that. Sir, please make a clear video about your VIP course. I will. I'll make it tomorrow, and I'll post it on Saturday. Sir, I don't understand when people say give an exam. Can you give an exam? No, it's an extremely common mistake that lots of people make. So they say, I'm giving an exam tomorrow, or I'm giving the IELTS test. It's the wrong way to say it. You can do the test, or you can sit the test, or you can take the test, but you can't give the test. Giving is this, like, so it's wrong. Don't use it in your speaking test, because they might ask you about your IELTS experience. And if you start talking about giving the IELTS test, you're making mistakes over and over and over again. Okay, so let me see how many more questions they have. Okay, I've only got 10 minutes left. Can I download the videos if I sign up for your VIP course? Yes. Do you have a Band 9 band essay examples? Yes, we have a Band 9 essay bank on the VIP course. It's free for everybody who joins. How can I check myself to prepare for IELTS? You can't. It's a silly thing to do. It would be like having a sore tooth and trying to remove it yourself. Like, if you did that, and you're obviously going to mess it up, it'd be the same as trying to correct your own IELTS essays. Like, or if your car was broken, would you try and fix your car yourself by looking at YouTube videos, or would you just take it to a mechanic? It's the same with like people complain that they have to pay for my VIP course. It's like complaining that you have to spend money on a mechanic to fix your car. Like, you can just go and look at YouTube videos and try and do it yourself, but you're going to mess it up. You're probably going to mess your whole car up, and it'll end up costing you even more. So yeah. If I make cancellations during my writing, will it cause me to lose marks? No, you should be editing and doing things like that. How much is the writing course only? 300? Chris, your course is not at all expensive. I know. How long is the VIP course? Totally self-paced, so you could do it in 1 week or you could do it in 1 year. What we've done is we created a course that you can do at any time, anywhere, and completely self-paced. So we've made it as convenient as possible for you. But most people do it between 2 and 6 weeks. Most people complete it between that. But in PayPal, our country does not mention, so how I join VIP course. Credit card, debit card, or PayPal. How did you pay for this course? Fusiage. How did you pay for this course if you don't have any of those things? The most serious problem I have is grammar. What is the strategy for grammar? Tomorrow, a full lesson on that. You can work discount at VIP course for me, my teacher? No, because the way that we price the courses is we calculate how much it costs us to provide the courses, and then we add a little bit of profit on top. That's the way business works. That's the way all products and services work. So if I discount it, I'll be selling it at less than the cost that it costs me, and then I'll go out of business. So, like, I'd love to do it for cheaper, but that's not the way the world works. It's like, go to your local supermarket and tell them to sell you milk for, a massive discount. If they did that, they'd go out of business, and then, just the way the world works. When are you going to open the VIP course? Saturday. Your VIP course is not expensive. In Edinburgh, IELTS courses are £420 per week. I know it's not expensive. So, thank you very much, Christian. Let's say my brother joins. Let's say my brother joins. Do we need to pay 1,000? Arshdeep. No, what I normally do with like husbands and wives or boyfriends and girlfriends or brothers and sisters and stuff like that, I normally allow them to join for one price. How about a speaking course only? Yes, there is a speaking course only. How much VIP course for a week? We do not do a week only course. We do a like not lifetime, but until you pass. So the way we do it is you join one price and it's until you pass, and that could be a week or that could be a year. Doesn't matter to us. It's not like other courses where it's just a bunch of videos. Like, you are coming into a community of people and dealing with us, and we're like, I don't want to say family, but you're going to be like really well supported by us. Do you do one-on-one speaking practice on your VIP course? Yes, that's a free part of it. Thank you for your help. The secret is that there is no secret. We just need to work hard. Yeah, that kind of is, yeah. Does punctuation play a role in the essay? Yes, it's part of grammar. This is definitely the best $1 investment I ever made. Maxim. Thank you very much. That's all I want to know. Alright guys, thank you very much. I am going to quit work for the day because my dinner will be ready soon. Thank you very much guys. It was a pleasure teaching you today. Thank you for so many questions about the VIP course. I'm really, what would I say? Humbled and appreciative of your interest. More information about that tomorrow.